2, 1. What's up, everybody? Wellness Week Live. I am your host, DJ Anthony. Today's topic: how to beat an anxiety attack, or how to beat a panic attack. Same thing. Same thing. So, a little bit of well, first off, I'm not a doctor. Don't listen to me. I'm just a DJ from New Jersey. How you doing? How are you doing, by the way? So I want to talk about anxiety attacks and panic attacks. You hear a lot about this, and it may affect you, may not. But if it does, or if you know someone who has that, and it's kind of a relative term. It's a spectrum. So I used to suffer from anxiety slash panic attacks. Not too long ago, a couple years back, and it came out of the blue. My whole life, I'm 50, never had whatever, but uh, I I think it's the spectrum, because you could have a little panic attack or a little anxiety attack, and you could have a big one that freezes you or makes you think you're dying. So, anyways, what I'm about to tell you, listen, you may say, "Well, you don't know, Anthony. I had it." Listen, I do know. It put me in the hospital twice. That's how bad the panic attacks were, and or anxiety attacks out of the blue. So, but I whooped its ass. And how did I do that? On this today's show. Okay, so um, if you're going through this, you're not alone, and it happens. It can happen to anybody. It doesn't matter, rich, poor, black, white, tall, short. It doesn't matter. You could live in China, you could live in America, you could live in Ireland. It doesn't matter. It's not a issue that can be, scientifically proven, like a broken arm. We can see that. You can see it physically. You can see it in an X-ray. Panic or an anxiety attack. There's no biomarker for it. It just, I don't know. So my take, and from my experience, it's a psychological situation. It's not physical. Again, it's not a broken arm. You know what I mean? It's not that. It's not you blew your leg off. Oh my God, I can see it. It's a psychological situation. But and if you have a severe, because again, there's levels to this stuff. You can have a little panic attack or a little anxiety attack, or you can have the mother load. I had the mother load, that, like, to the point where I went to the hospital. So I understand what you're going through, and I've had little ones, medium ones, and the mother loads. So, but how did I handle it? How did I beat it? Well, first off, why did it happen? I really don't know. I mean, my guess is, I think, and again, this is just my experience. You might be going through something similar. You probably are. Maybe you're not. But my guess is, going through, I guess, a lot of, like, in years past, going through some lonely moments of my life. Not, and I'm not just talking about lonely, like, hey, I feel lonely today, but like duration of months and months of loneliness, darkness, where, like, uh, again, I don't even know if this was the cause, but I have to wonder, maybe it's a cumulative effect, panic and anxiety. And again, before I tell you more about myself, but, like, I think sometimes, you'll have naysayers be like, "Oh, what are you panic? What are you stressing about? Hey, it's not World War II." Oh, excuse me, I'm sorry. So if we didn't go through World War II, everyone should just shut up, right? Listen, the human mind, it's relative. What might be stressful for me might not be stressful for you, or what might be stressful for you might not be stressful for me. Our brains are almost like operating on their own, even though they're in our skull. It's our brains almost have like a brain of their own, so to speak. So, anyways, and if you're going through whatever stress, anxiety, panic, you're damn right you're weak. And I was just having this conversation with somebody today, and we were talking about, oh, that person thinks I'm weak, or this person thinks I'm weak. Well, you are weak. I am weak. The only person that's not weak is God. So if you're a human being, you have weaknesses. Even superheroes have weaknesses. Superman, right? Fictional character, has a weakness. We all have weaknesses. We all have Achilles heels. It's called being a human. It's okay. You're supposed to be weak. However, you're also supposed to rise up, stand up, get knocked down. Good. Get back up. Get knocked down. Good. Get back up. Get knocked down. Good. Get back up. So, it's okay. You're supposed to be weak. I'm weak. You're weak. Bruce Lee's weak. We're all weak. Now we have different weaknesses in different spots, but it's okay. Anyways, so stress, anxiety, going back to why I think I had it. And again, I think it was an accumulative effect. I don't think it was any one thing, but I think over the years, and then it came to a head where it was just like, boom, that's what I think. Again, there's no provable math about this, but and I think that's what happens with a lot of people. You have this cumulative effect over years or months or whatever. So not to get into this, but I did this episode already about, in an 8 month period, I lost my business, I lost my one and only son, I lost my marriage, I lost my Aunt Lucy to COVID, the COVID lockdowns happened. So all of that kind of happened. And that didn't put me into panic or anxiety, actually, oddly enough. So, however, the years following that add loneliness to that, add, you know, uh, yeah, those cumulative effect. It's a cachet, and then adding a particularly interesting diet of mine. I was drinking 6 cups of coffee a day. Okay, here we go. Right, so it's not any one thing, but it's all these things coming together. I wasn't exercising as much as I should. Um, like I wasn't getting out as much as I should. I was working from home a lot. Whatever. Although I am successful as a business owner and things like that, I like I'm the boss. It's I don't get a lot of time to really mingle and hang out and things like that. So I think all of these things, you know, were coming to a head. And then, about 2.5 years ago or so, maybe 3 years ago, I had my first anxiety attack, and it was just like, what's happening? I thought I was having a heart attack. I don't know. I just like it seemed like this demon possession came into me, and I was like, well, I got out of nowhere. I was like, what the fuck is this? So I was like, I got to go to the hospital. I think I'm going to die or something or pass out. I don't know. And it was just odd. So I also think people who have panic and anxiety tend to be a little bit more high strung. So I'm a high strung person. I don't walk around with a stick up my ass. In many ways, I'm very laid back. But when it comes to, I'm a go getter. I'm a self starter. I'm a pull myself by the bootstraps. I'm an entrepreneur. You know, I I blast forward at all costs. So I think that type of mentality probably lends way to panic and anxiety, because I'm always afterburners on. Let's go get it, and that could be a problem. So I doubt highly people who are like, "Hey, dude, what's up? Whatever happens, happens." Those type of people are probably not getting stress and anxiety attacks. Hey, kudos to you, But then again, are those types of people, you know, making their stamp on the world? I don't know. But anyways, so back to the panic anxiety. So yeah, I think it was that. I think it was this culmination of, again, too much coffee, which was a big one we're going to get to in a minute, but um, and just being high strung, always thinking about, you know, 10 steps ahead, 10 steps ahead. What if? I always going to be prepared. I got to be prepared because I am my own safety net. I don't work for anybody. So I think business owners out there could probably relate to this. So, anyways, it was getting to me. And so, yeah, so the panic attack, I thought I was having a heart attack. I thought I was, yeah, I don't know what. I went to the hospital. Blah, blah, blah. They're like, no, you're fine. You're just an asshole. Just kidding. They didn't say that. But they said, you're fine. So I was like, all right. But I still didn't register to me. And then, you know, a couple months later, it happened again, but I didn't go to the hospital. I was like, all right, well, this was the same thing as before. But then it kept on happening. And yeah, it happened, whatever, a year later, so severely that I went to the hospital again. And then I was like, okay, this is not good. Like something has to stop. I can't be going to the hospital every time I have a panic attack or an anxiety attack. I know what you're thinking. Oh, go on pills, go on medication. No, I'm all for that. But first, I was like, you know what? Let me exhaust all measures first. Let me look at my life. What am I doing right? What am I doing wrong? Before I even, because pills come with a price to your body. They come with side effects. It's not candy. So, and again, I'm not against people being on medication. God bless. If that's what you need to do, and if I need to do that, I would do that. But I didn't. I didn't go on pills, by the way. And again, I had it as bad, if not worse than you. So, and if I can do it, you can do it without pills. Okay. So, um, what happened then was I said, let me look at my diet because I knew I was drinking a lot of coffee, and caffeine is a big no-no if you're a high-strung person like me. So, just me simply stopping coffee, because I was doing 6 cups a day, just me simply stopping coffee, uh, and so instead of my anxiety hitting a level 10, it would only go to like maybe a level 6, which was, whoa, I was a big, big plus. So just stopping coffee. And then I would still have some, anxiety and panic, mini attacks or medium attacks here and there. So like, all right, let me further look. I was eating a lot of dark chocolate. Dark chocolate ounce for ounce has, inch for inch has more caffeine than many coffees. I didn't realize that. Cut that out. That also helped. And then I made sure that I said, let me incorporate things into my diet to help my nerves. So omega-3 fatty acids, that's salmon, fish, things like that, more vegetables, more getting away from a lot of I eat healthy anyways, but more vegetables, more fruits, things like that. More, just so deep breathing was another thing that I incorporated. And that, by the way, if you're having a panic attack or you're even just a little nervous, in through your nose, we did a whole episode on this. When you breathe in through your nose, you release nitrous oxide into your blood. So you get more nitrous oxide, more oxygen, and that will calm you down, especially on the exhale. So you do that 3 times. Exhale all the way deep, and within the first one, you'll feel like, wow, I feel a little bit more calm. Do that 3 times or 4 times, whatever, and you'll see that's a big help actually doing that every day. So that's one thing. There's another thing I did. Got the coffee out. I got out more. I was staying home a lot, I noticed, and that was kind of freaking me out because it was like solitary confinement. So I made sure now that I went out for breakfast or I went out for lunch. I went out for lunch and breakfast. I started to stop ordering a lot of stuff online and made myself go to the supermarket. I made myself go to the bank physically instead of doing online banking. So that got me out more in front of people. I was really underestimating the power of just seeing people and shaking a hand and saying hello. And so I started to add all these things up, and the panic and the anxiety, like I don't have that anymore because I'm connecting with people more. Everyone's different. Some people need more connection than others. I realize I need a lot of connection with people. I like small talk. I like, saying hello. I like making eye contact. I don't have to, debate you, but, like I didn't realize how important that was to me. I got myself, which I've always had a therapist on and off throughout my life, but winners have therapists. If you're going to be successful in life, you need a therapist. The top earners in the world, the top business people in the world, they got therapists. So I went back to online therapy actually, BetterHelp.com, which I love. They should be paying for. They should be paying me to say this, but they're not. It's online therapy, FaceTime, loved it. That helped me out a little bit. Again, nothing in and of itself was a silver bullet. Coffee was a big one, but nothing in and of itself was a silver bullet. But again, it adds up. So therapists help. More exercise, that helped. And stop. You have time for exercise. Don't give me that bullshit. You got time. Also, when I was having or thinking I was having, or oh God, I feel a panic attack or anxiety attack coming on. There's been studies on this. Distracting yourself. So I knew, okay, let me start reading something, or let me get out of the house and start, I don't know, fixing something, or doing something, like just even picking up an object or doing dishes, like doing something, not sitting there like like whatever. Call a friend and bullshit, like listen to talk radio or say anything that's going to get your mind not thinking about, am I having a panic attack? Am I having a panic? Am I having a panic? Like, no, just boom. I always found when I'm out, when I'm engaging people, I'm not stressed. So, or it might be the opposite for you. Maybe you do get stressed and you feel anxiety attack coming if you're with people. Okay, then do the opposite. Go try to, excuse me, I have to go to the bathroom, breathe, be by yourself. You know what I mean? Like you want to do that. However, here's the irony of this and the paradox. Another thing that helped me with my panic and anxiety is doing ERP therapy, exposure response prevention. So when you try to distract yourself, it could be a good thing, but it could be a bad thing too, because now you don't want to say this to yourself. You don't want to say, I'm okay. I'm okay. I hope the panic can't hurt me. That could help. I've tried that. But what I really felt was a big improvement was saying, expose yourself to the panic, to the fear. Say, "Oh, I love panic. Oh, panic. I think I'm having a panic attack." Or you're not having a panic attack, and say, "I can't wait to have a panic attack today. I love panic so much. Ooh, panic. Where are you? Where are you? Where are you hiding? Come on, don't be a little sissy panic. Get out here. Come on, sit on my lap. Like want it. Exposure response prevention. That's a great therapy for a lot of fears and compulsions and things like that. And so that's been proven to work better than medication, And so you expose yourself to that fear, to that worry, whatever it may be, right? It could be like, oh my God, I think that if I leave my house, I'm making up something now, right? You might have a fear of, I don't know, a fear of squirrels. And so you leave your house. Before you leave your house, like, God, I can't wait to see a squirrel. I love squirrels. Can't wait to see them. And so you again, it's like you have two brains. You have to. It's a vaccination you're giving yourself. So what is a vaccine? A vaccine is giving yourself, right, that exposure to that virus or that bacteria in a smaller dose, but you're exposing yourself to that virus bacteria physiologically. Well, you're doing the same thing psychologically. And that helped me big time because I had to wake up in the morning and be fine, whatever. I'm like, I can't wait to have an anxiety attack. And if I felt an anxiety attack coming on, I'd be like, awesome. Yes. I love it. I want it. Let's see what I'm made out of. I hope it's a big one. Come on, come on, come on. And then I would pretend like, I'm freaking out. I'm freaking out. Like, so that helped me big time because it calls your fear out. It calls that bully out. You ain't shit. And come on, come get it. I want it. I love it. Let's go. Like whatever. So you that's very powerful versus, oh my God, okay, please don't hurt me. Please don't hurt me. Like you're giving that thing power now. So you have to. So distraction is good, but you don't want to be afraid of the panic or anxiety or thing that you're phobia that you're afraid of. You can distract, that's good, but you don't want to distract out of fear. And if you are getting worried, then I would say 100% do the ERP and start off a little bit. You don't have to be like, I can't wait, but you can be like, cool, panic is that's fun, whatever. And then you go about your day. You know what I mean? Like, so, but when I was feeling that I was having it, I was like, oh, this is awesome. I can't wait. Now that sounds crazy. And you may say, well, I'm not going to believe that. But again, it's like you have two brains. You got to trick the little brain inside the brain. So it'll work. It'll work. I'm very confident about that. And don't give up. So, and then the last thing I would say is, tell people that you trust or you like. You don't have to go out buy a billboard, but let people know, like, oh man, yeah, how you doing? Yeah, I've been this stress and anxiety has been kicking my ass. Like get it out there. You know what I mean? Like put light on it because it'll run away. Then the panic and the anxiety when you keep it inside and you don't want to tell anybody. And again, I'm not saying tell every human on earth, but you tell your friends or if there's a particular family member you trust, whatever. Like it doesn't have to be like this big dark secret. Just be like, oh man, yeah, I've been panic and anxiety been kicking my ass and it's been wearing on me. Like you know what I mean, like that. And that kind of calls it out to the world. You're shining light on this, and then the panic and anxiety runs from light because light kills all bacteria and bugs, right? So that's what you're doing to this. You're shining light on it, and it's like kind of not a big deal because you're not making it a big deal. But if you harbor it and you're like, oh my God, I can't tell anybody, you're giving it power. So you have to look at it like it's a paper tiger. It's a cotton ball. It's a huge cotton ball that looks like a big monster, but it's a cotton ball. And it's a cotton ball, but it looks like a monster. So you just gotta just jump into the cotton ball. You ain't shit. So and be like, I love it. Like give me a hug, cotton ball. Give me a hug, monster. And you could even name your anxiety a funny name, like belittle it, shit on it, you know. So you bully the bully, you bully that anxiety and panic. And so I've done all those things. And I was just thinking today, I was like, oh shit, I haven't had a panic or anxiety attack in about a year. And so these are the things that I'm doing differently. And it can come back, that's fine. But now I'm better equipped. And then go on YouTube and check out other videos from people, and some things might make sense, some might not, some might be true, some might not. But you sift it out for yourself. You may be thinking I'm full of shit, then don't listen to me. But whatever. I mean, you find it works for you. I mean, like I said, I'm opposed to medications because they come with serious side effects. Again, if you've tried everything and you exercise, by the way, we know that exercise, go look it up, don't believe me. We know that exercise is 1.5 times more powerful than any antidepressant medication or any kind of psychological medication that's out there. It's simple exercise. So getting out, an hour a day or 2 hours a day, whatever it is that you can do to exercise, weight training, so you don't have to run a marathon, but you can't make excuses. Your health comes first. So anyways, these are things that help me, and I whooped its ass. It doesn't exist anymore. So, but even if what I'm telling you helps you 30%, hey, that's 30% you didn't have before. You know what I mean? Like you're there, you're doing good. And I would say, don't beat yourself up. If you have a panic or anxiety event, let's just say, all right, you know, um, cool, and you're going to get through it. And Yeah, I mean, don't beat yourself up either, you know what I mean? So that's okay, and we're always gonna have something, you know what I mean? If it ain't this, it's some other shit, so it's like, whatever, you're a human being, so you're doing good, but yeah, I would really try all those things first before you get on meds, because also the meds only work for so long, and then you need more and more and more and more and more. So you really have to watch that. But yeah, talk to a therapist. I would go to a psychologist, not a psychiatrist yet. Nothing against psychiatry. Maybe you need a psychiatrist, but psychiatrist looks at things, through the lens of medicine, and that's fine. If you need that, I would go to a psychologist first. And we did a whole show on the difference between psychology and psychiatry. But anyways, try those things first. And you know what? The best is yet to come. Your life is awesome. You deserve the best, and we all get knocked down. And we all had, like I said, I had about 2 years of this shit, and it was really impeding me and causing issues. But by the way, even if you don't fully wipe out anxiety and panic in your life, and you just knock it down to like a 20%, that's a win. If you can just function with that, and don't look at it like it has to be all or nothing. No, like it's okay. Like it comes back once in a while, or you're struggling with it daily, but you're not struggling as much. That's a win. Like that's good. Keep doing it and keep fine tuning, and but yeah, ERP is powerful. What you drink and don't drink is powerful. If you're drinking soda, get the fuck off that shit, because anything with caffeine is gonna, energy drinks, like, read the labels. But yeah, so, and I would say, healthier, get better rest, stuff like that. These are all things that are going to help. Connect with people. We know that if you're connecting with people, whatever is good for you. I'm not saying you got to be a party animal like me, but like, yeah, and then maybe you need more time by yourself. Cool, that's good too, that you try, work on that. Anyways, hope it helps. But yeah, the best is yet to come for you, and I'm excited for you. Okay, dokie. I'm out of here. DJ Tony. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I'm out of here. Hey.